Hey everyone, what's up? My name is Mike Nylander, and you have just found your way to another glittering episode of Handbag Mike, a channel devoted not just to one, but to two different things that I like: handbags and talking. So hit that like button and be sure to subscribe as I take a look at the latest handbags from various designers such as Louis Vuitton, Prada, Coach, Michael Kors, Dooney & Burke, and many more. I will give you my opinion as to what's hot and what's not. Each new episode will center around a different bag, and each bag is going to be thoroughly and wittingly reviewed by yours truly, using a list of various categories and a 5-star rating system. Now, I'm going to start this video by saying that until mid-October, I'm only expecting myself to put out one video per week instead of the two that I have been doing. Now, there may be certain weeks where I put out 2 videos, but on a whole, I'm just expecting one. The reason for this is that we have family visiting for an extended vacation. So, while I will still have time to film and edit one video per week, I do also want to spend time with my family while I have the chance. Now then, for this particular review, I will be reviewing my second Coach product in a row. It is not from the outlet as the last one was, but rather from the Coach.com website, and was a bag that my husband sent my way to review for this channel. And taking one look at it, I knew that I wanted to review it as soon as possible. This bag is in the sales section of the Coach website, so honestly, I'm not sure how much longer it will be available. And I did want to get the chance to review it on this channel and talk about it a little bit before it was gone. Please know that typically I will try to separate brands and not work them back to back. But I really did feel an exception with this. And with this said, I invite you all to sit back and relax on that nice comfy sofa as we take a look at our next bag for review on Handbag Mike. So in order to give a review of each bag that will be listed on this channel, a list of categories has been created which will highlight the different important key elements of what I am looking for in each bag. These categories will be the same for each bag that I look at, and they will be graded based off of a 5-star rating. At the end of each video, we are going to look at how each bag did, and I will share my final thoughts on whether or not the bag is fab or drab. These categories are as follows: style, price and value, versatility, practicality, and timelessness. Now then, with all of this out of the way, it is time to introduce you all to the bag that we'll be reviewing today. Again, this bag comes from Coach. It is the Coach Turnlock Clutch 20 with Rainbow Quilting. Phew! Try saying that one 5 times in a row without getting tongue-tied. This bag is, to date, the smallest bag that I have looked at on this channel. And it is actually the first bag that has been found in the sales section of any of the company websites. I remember actually seeing this bag in local Coach stores during Pride Month this past June. And honestly, I'm surprised that it's actually still available. But with all of that said, there is still one question that we must ask. And that question, my dear friends, is this. Will this bag wind up being fab or drab? There is only one way to find out, so off we go. So, the first category that we're going to be reviewing when it comes to this bag is the category of style. And I'm going to say that as a member of the LGBTQ community, I am in love with this bag. And if I were looking at it in terms of just myself, then I would definitely be giving it a 5-star rating. Because, duh, pretty. But I'm not just looking at it for myself. Rather, I'm also looking at it for all of you as well. So I went ahead and I docked 1 star away, knocking it to a 4-star rating. Because I do understand that some of you may not have as high a feeling toward this bag as I do. Still though, a good rating. Solid and something that this bag should be proud of. This bag is one that I feel radiates style. It is fun. It is colorful. And did I forget to mention pretty? There is a tan leather at the sides of the bag that also make the detachable strap of this bag, as well as the top handle. And there is also a tan leather piping. This tan leather perfectly balances the fun quilted bands of color that make the rainbow, making up the front and the back of this bag. And the simple turnlock closure at the front of this bag gives the bag a very retro look, at least in my opinion. The Coach tag has the company brand spelled out in rainbow lettering, which is completely awesome looking, by the way. One thing I will say is this, and perhaps this is another reason to have taken 1 star away, not because it's a bad thing, but simply because I do understand that it is not fitting the brand bags in a way that the majority of people may like. There are many out there that like to have their bags to have the designer names or logos splashed all over them. And I will admit that I have several Coach bags myself with the letter C splashed across them. This is not a logo bag, and it doesn't need to be, because in the end, it is still stylish. Even if you are not personally a member of the LGBTQ community, this bag is still a great way of furthering the message that in the end, love is love. And any bag that can help send that message is super stylish. Okay, so the second category that we're going to be looking at in today's review is price and value. Now, before we get into this category, I am going to say that for the most part, I try to keep the categories separated and talk about each one individually. However, there are going to be certain instances where one category will be directly affected because of another. And that is the circumstance that we have when it comes to this particular bag. So let me explain as we talk about the category of price and value. When it comes to price and value, I gave a rating of 3 stars, right in the middle. And as I was reviewing this bag, I actually told my husband that I would love to have it. Seriously, I would love to have it. Yet, at the same time, the price point for this bag is just really not there for me. Not this time. So once again, I gave the price and value category a 3. And the reason why is because the price point may not be there for me, but it may not be a problem for other people. I am going to say that even at this sale price, you are going to be spending $297.50 plus tax from the Coach website. And while this bag is leather and therefore somewhat easier for a justification in this price, I am going to have to look at this bag and see that it is a smaller bag. Now, remember how I said that one category can sometimes affect another? Here we go. We're going to get into the actual measurements in the practicality of this bag, but just hear me out. The actual material used here is high quality. You have Napa leather, glove-tanned leather, and brass hardware. So the components are there. But at the same time, it is small. And I mean, we've all seen or even own those bags that are just too small to use in daily life. I know I do, and I know you do too. So, at least for me, this is where this bag would fall. It is too small to use in daily life. Yet, like I said, I would love to have it. So, want versus need. This bag isn't big. It is actually too small for daily life, and I know this. So, a 3-star rating. The material is great material, but the reality is that there's just not enough of that material used in the creation of this bag. So the third category that we're going to be looking at in today's review is versatility. And when it came to versatility, once again, I gave a 3-star rating, smack dab right down the center. Against what I want, this was the rating that I had to give to this category. Now, I will start by saying that if I were the one to own this bag, then I would just love the hell out of it. And honestly, I would sport it everywhere, if I could actually carry stuff in it. Because I, for one, do see it as casual and formal. I do personally see it as a versatile bag. But I also know that there are many out there who would not see it this way. True, it is made of good quality leather, but there are many out there who would need a formal bag to be neutral and more elegant looking than this. And even I can admit that this bag may not be particularly elegant beyond the shape of it, but still, for me, it would fall into a versatile bag in casual and formal, and nobody's talking me out of that. It is a bag that I could see most people agreeing to use in a casual setting, once again, because it is obviously a casual bag. And I do easily see it as a day-to-night bag when you are going from work to having fun with your friends. So even if the formal category were taken away here, we still would have a bag that fits into every other category of this section rather nicely. So the fourth category that we're going to be reviewing here is practicality. Now, we briefly got into practicality in the earlier part of this video dealing with price and value, but let's just jump into it here. I'm going to say that I gave practicality a 2.5-star rating. Now, as I said at the start of this video, this is to date the smallest bag that I have looked at on this channel. And if you have watched past videos that I have done, then you will know that I'm actually a fan of larger bags that can actually hold, all of the stuff that you may find yourself needing throughout the day. It is for this reason that I felt it was necessary to give this particular bag a 2.5-star rating when it came to the category of practicality, because it is a small bag. It measures in at 8 inches long by 4.5 inches high by 3 inches wide. That is a bag that is very tiny, at least to me. And I just personally feel that by the time we actually manage to stuff our wallets inside of it, there's going to be little room for too much else to be put in there. I, for one, personally believe that a good, usable bag should be able to hold more than just a wallet and maybe a cell phone. Because, let's be honest here. We are all carrying around so much more than just these 2 items in our day-to-day lives. The bag does have interior pockets, including a zip pocket. I will say that I always love interior zip pockets because they are a great place to store your keys. Should you not have the lanyard in the bag, a zip pocket is a great place to store keys and know where they are at all times, so I can appreciate that. This bag also has a card slot and an outside pocket on the back. But when it comes to this pocket, it is rather narrow, and I personally don't think that it's going to hold anything of real substance. Lastly, we've got the top handle, which we are told has a drop of 1 3/4 inches, which is actually a very good size if you're holding it with your hand. And we have the detachable strap of 21.5-inch drop. So the strap is actually a decent size strap as well. The 5th category that we're going to be looking at is timelessness. And when it comes to timelessness, I gave a 4.5-star rating. Again, I find myself really wishing that I could give a higher mark here. And if I were reviewing just for me, when it comes to timelessness, I would have given it a 5-star rating. No doubt about it. But when it comes to the look of this bag, all I can say is I am in love. And for one, I do think this bag would be a timeless piece. Again, as a member of the LGBTQ community, I can say that this bag would always be something that I personally would treasure. With that said, however, maybe I'm grading this bag too highly, even at a 4.5-star rating. Maybe my bias might be taken over here. And if that's the case, then I'm going to be frank with you, I really just don't care. I feel that apart from the obvious pride look that this bag has going for it, which I am all for, it also has a very retro vibe, which creates an instant timeless look. I will end this part of the timeless category by saying that if you are the type to buy this bag, then it is likely that you are going to have the same view on it that I have. It is a beautiful bag, one that I cannot help but love, and one that I think just makes people who have it a little bit happier because of what it represents. We have drawn near to the end of another review, and another bag has been rated based off of my own personal standards. Lastly, it is time to share my personal feelings on this bag. I find myself completely loving this bag apart from the size of it. And honestly, each new time that I go to look at it for the purpose of this review, I am completely sold on the look of it and just wish it was a little bit bigger. I really do love the rainbow look of it, and I love everything about it apart from the size. It has this beauty to it, and it is a bag that I find myself really wishing I could add to my collection, even if it is not a practical bag. Because as far as looks go, it's a stunner. Oh, but the size. The size. It is so small that I just, once again, cannot justify the price point. Even though the quality and the materials used are top-notch with this bag, it does not justify the price. Of course, if someone were to give me this bag as a gift, I would certainly not complain about it. When it comes to describing if this bag is fab or drab, well, I mean, duh. This bag is fab. I mean, did you really think I was going to call it anything else? Seriously? Hello? I cannot help but feel happy when I see this bag. As a gay man, I love what it represents. And I think it is a fabulous bag that is completely awesome. I think it is so great that big name companies do their part to help with the spreading of equality. You know, sure, they're making some money in doing so, but still. In fact, I'm going to say this bag is beyond fab. It is fantabulous. And with that said, we have now reached the end of another review. I hope you all had a fun time looking at the Coach Turnlock Clutch 20 with Rainbow Quilting with me. If so, please continue to watch my videos. Please remember to hit like and subscribe, and be sure to stay tuned. I'll have another bag coming your way soon. This is Handbag Mike saying later.